But when you rejoice in the Lord, the joy of the Lord is a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermostat just registers the conditions around here. I mean a thermometer. But a thermostat controls the conditions. Wow. Some of y'all in here right now, you got conditions that you don't like. You don't have to register the condition. You go to God and trust Him, and He'll take care of it. You see, happiness is a thermometer. Is your hap good or your happenings good? You're happy. If your happenings are bad, you're unhappy. So happiness goes up and down with your circumstances. But joy always remains constant. Because Jesus is constant. I don't like things that happen around me at times. I don't like some of the things I have to get into. But you know what? I still rejoice in the Lord. Paul said they've locked me in, but they can't lock Jesus out. Rejoice in the Lord always. And just in case you didn't hear it, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Because no matter what situation you find yourself in, no matter how tight the stress is, Jesus is in the fire with you. Praise God. He's right there. Listen, He's there comforting you. Jesus is at hand. Praise God. Y'all can get a little happy now. Go ahead. That's all right. Get a little happy now. Praise. He's there. He's there. He's there. He's there. Come on. He's there. That's right. So now, first, rejoice in the Lord. That's your first R and R. Rejoice in the Lord. Remember this tomorrow. Remember this afternoon. Remember this when you ride home. Because when you ride home, Satan's going to think and feel you're going to feel good when you leave here, and as soon as you get out there, he's going to feel all this stuff back on you. And before you get home, you're going to leave this in the car and carry what he's given to you on in. Leave what he's given you in the car and carry this on in. Amen? So first, rejoice in the Lord. Secondly, rely on the power of God. He said, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving that your requests be made known unto God. That word, be careful, literally means don't be full of care or worry about anything. Don't be full of care or worry about anything. I have discovered when I practice this, life is a whole lot simpler. Situations aren't simpler, but life is. If I can find a way, just not be so full of that care. I know if you're full of care and worry because that situation is always on your mind. Not only is that situation always on your mind, that situation is always on your mind and trying to conquer you. And so if the situation is on your mind and is trying to conquer you, and then it tries to lie to you and tell you there's no way out, you're worrying about it. We did something the other day in here. It was really cool. I'm going to get y'all to do it too right now. When you look in the mirror in the morning, you know who your biggest critic is? You. Do you know who the funniest person you know in your life is? Don't point up here. The funniest person you know in your life is you. And if you can learn to laugh at yourself, you'll take off some of that stress. When you mess up, laugh. Laugh. I gave the illustration the other night about when DC and Daniel and I were at Vincent, and I was teaching them how to fish. And we went to this little pond that was right down from the house. And we go there 2 or 3 nights a week, and I was teaching them how to fish. And I remember right to start with, we go buy those little lures and do artificial bait fishing. And they would lose the lure, and they would go, Daddy, I'm so sorry. Daddy, please forgive me. I lost the lure. And I go, boys, what did I tell you? Say it out loud.
Making a Walmart every day.
They're selling at Walmart every day. That's right. Or making a Walmart. Either way, I sense it both ways. And it took them a while. But after a while, they come to me and go, Daddy, can I have another lure? And I go, what happened? So I just lost mine. Why? Because I got told a long time ago by a man much wiser than me. He said, when you got your children with you, and when you're trying to teach them something, you'll come out a whole lot better, and they will enjoy it, and you will enjoy it. If you'll take some of that stress off of it, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. And so for the first month or two, I hardly ever fished. I just let them fish. I tried to fish, but I was busy putting lures on because Walmart had them every day. Amen. So watch this. Here's what you do. When you get up in the morning, and when you leave, when you look in your rearview mirror, when you get ready to back out today, every time you look in your mirror, at night, in the morning, I'm not trying to teach you to be self-centered. I'm just trying to teach you how to relax and take some of the stress off. Here's what I want you to do. Normally, if you're under stress, you're going to look in that mirror and you're going to fuss at yourself. You should have known better than that. What were you doing? What were you thinking? Here's what I want you to do. Look in the mirror and smile at yourself. Just smile. Yeah, you were there Thursday night and we talked about it. Just smile. Just smile. And then after you smile, here it goes, I dare you. Look at yourself and say, when God made you, He was showing off. Look at yourself. Don't look at Brandon. Look at yourself. Look in the mirror and say, when God made you, He was showing off. Because you know why? Because the Bible tells us that we're uniquely and wonderfully made. There's no one like you. You're the only one like you. I have identical twin brothers, and they're so different. They look alike. Their children get them mixed up when they were smaller. But you know what? You know what? They're still different. The same way, listen. Look in the mirror. Instead of fussing at yourself, smile. And then remember, when God made you, He was showing off. Try it and see what it'll do. Just see if you'll find something pretty cool coming your way. See, worry is a damaging emotion. It's one of the most damaging there is because worry is division. And it has the idea, when you talk about worry or careful for nothing, it's talking about, literally, the Greek is being pulled apart. Now back then, people back then knew exactly what I was talking about because there was there was Christians were put in the arena, and Paul had them put in the arena, and then he would talk about them, so they would, or when they went to jail, he would talk about them, so that they would be put in the arena. When they were put in the arena, they would be, some of them, literally, Paul had people done this to. They would get one arm tied to one chariot and one arm tied to another chariot, and they would literally pull them apart, while the Romans laughed and cheered. Not only would they pull them apart that way, but they also would throw them in there with lions and let the lions eat them and let them run as they were being torn apart. Paul remembered that. And now Paul's saying, be careful for nothing. Worry is like those lions tearing you apart. Worry is like that chariot, those two chariots, pulling you apart. Matter of fact, think about it this way. Over here is hope, and over here is fear. And you're being pulled in between both of them. So remember, you have to rely on the power of God. I'm almost through. I've only got 5 things. Y'all remember that 5. Y'all can start counting them down.